There was a night. Maybe you remember it. Maybe it was recent. Maybe it was a long time ago. But there was a night when you made dua and the ceiling felt very low. You whispered to Allah. You cried. Maybe you begged. And then you went to sleep, still carrying everything you came with. No answer, no sign, no shift. And somewhere in that silence, a thought crept in. A quiet, dangerous little thought. Maybe it is just not meant for me. If that has ever been you, this reminder is for you. Because that feeling, that exhaustion, that quiet kind of hopelessness, it is not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. It is a sign that you need to hear something true right now. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows exactly what kind of night you have been having. He said it so clearly, so directly, so lovingly. Say, O my servants who have wronged themselves, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Surah Az-Zumar, Ayah 53. He did not say, try harder first, then I will show you mercy. He did not say, fix yourself, then come to me. He said, come, just come, even now, even like this, even broken, even tired, even after everything. And that is where this reminder begins. Not with a lecture, not with a list of things you did wrong, but with a simple, honest question. Has there been a night like that for you? If yes, then keep listening. Because what Allah has for you this Ramadan is not just reward for worship. It is something far more personal than that. It is repair. Let me ask you something gently. When life gets hard, when the days feel heavy and the answers feel far away, what is the one thought that quietly breaks your heart the most? For many people, it is this. Maybe Allah is not paying attention to me right now. And I want to look at that thought carefully. Not to shame you for having it, but to show you how far it is from the truth. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not manage creation in bulk. He does not look after billions of people the way a government looks after a crowd. He knows each soul, each name, each tear, each hidden worry. He told us this so beautifully. With Him are the keys of the unseen. No one knows them except Him. And not a leaf falls except that He knows it. Surah Al-An'am, Ayah 59. Not a leaf. Think about that for a moment. Right now, somewhere in the world, a single leaf is falling from a tree. In a forest no human being has ever visited, at a time when no eye is watching, and Allah knows it. He knows the leaf. So how could He not know you? You who carries His name in your heart. You who still turns to Him even when the turning is hard. You who is listening to this reminder right now, searching for something to hold on to. He knows you. He has always known you. The feeling of being forgotten, that whisper that says nobody sees what you are going through, that is not coming from Allah. That is coming from somewhere else entirely. Shaitan does not want you to feel seen by Allah. Because the moment you truly believe that Allah sees you, everything changes. The moment you believe that He is fully aware of your situation, your fear softens, your chest opens, and suddenly the dua that felt like it was hitting the ceiling starts to feel like it is going somewhere real. You were never invisible to Him, not on your worst day, not in your weakest moment, not in the middle of your biggest mistake. He saw it all. He sees it all. And He is still here. He has not moved. The question was never whether Allah is paying attention. The question is, do you believe it? Most of us come into Ramadan with a kind of checklist in our minds. More Quran, more prayers, more good deeds, more worship. And that is not wrong, that is beautiful. But I want to ask you to pause for a moment. Because Ramadan is doing something much deeper than adding things to your schedule. It is doing something to the inside of you. Think about the hunger you feel during the day. That empty, quiet feeling in your stomach. It slows you down. It makes you aware of your body. It makes you humble. And that is not an accident. That hunger is a mirror. Because most of us have been walking around with a different kind of hunger for a long time. A hunger in the soul. A hunger for peace, for certainty, for connection. For the feeling that everything is going to be okay. And we have been trying to fill that hunger with everything except the one thing that truly fills it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the month of Ramadan with a word that people often rush past. The month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed, a guidance for the people so that you may be grateful. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 185. So that you may be grateful, not so that you may perform. Not so that you may complete a checklist and feel accomplished, so that you may be grateful. Grateful for what? For the mercy that never left you even when you drifted. For the door that is still open even after everything. For the fact that you are here, breathing, still searching, still trying. That is what Ramadan is building inside you. Not just more deeds on the scale, but a softer heart, a more open heart, a heart that can finally receive what Allah has been trying to give you. Sometimes we are so tense with worry, so tight with fear, that even when mercy comes toward us, we cannot feel it. Ramadan loosens that. The fasting, the night prayers, the Quran, they are not just acts of worship. They are medicine for a heart that has been through a lot. So this Ramadan, yes, read more Quran. Yes, pray your prayers. Yes, give in charity. But also, let yourself be changed. Let the softness come in. Because what Allah is offering you this month is not just reward. It is something more precious than reward. It is closeness. And when you are close to Allah, truly close, you stop carrying your problems alone. You start to feel, even in the middle of difficulty, that someone greater than your problem is already handling it. That is the gift of Ramadan. Not just a better record with Allah, but a better relationship with Him. And that relationship is what will change everything. There is a word in our deen that we use a lot. Tawakkul. Trust in Allah. We say it, we hear it, we write it. But I want to be honest with you about something. Many of us have confused tawakkul with waiting. We think that trusting Allah means sitting still, putting everything down, doing nothing, and hoping that something good will fall from the sky. But that is not tawakkul. That is just waiting. And waiting without trust is not a spiritual state. It is just pausing. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked by a man, should I tie my camel or should I leave it and trust in Allah? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said something that changed the way we should understand this word forever. Tie it and then put your trust in Allah. Tirmidhi. Tie it. Then trust. Do the thing. Make the effort. Use the mind Allah gave you. Use the two hands He blessed you with. Take the step and then release the outcome. That is where the trust lives. Not in the doing, not even in the result, in the releasing. Real tawakkul is not, I am going to sit and see what Allah does. Real tawakkul is, I am going to do everything I can, and then I am going to hand the rest to the one who can do what I cannot. And here is what makes that so beautiful. When you hand it to Allah, you are not handing it to someone who will forget. You are not handing it to someone who will misplace it. You are handing it to Al-Wakil, the one who manages every affair perfectly. Think about someone applying for a job they really need. They write the best application they can. They prepare. They pray. They go to the interview. And then they sit in the waiting room of life and they breathe. Not because they do not care, but because they know the decision is in better hands now. That is a person with tawakkul. They are not passive. They are not lazy. They are not careless. They are at peace. And that peace, that is one of the most powerful states a believer can live in. Because when you are at peace with Allah's decision before it arrives, it means you truly believe that whatever He chooses for you is better than what you would choose for yourself. And that belief is not weakness. That is one of the highest forms of faith a heart can carry. I want to speak to a very specific kind of pain right now. The pain of the person who has been making dua for a long time. Not once, not twice, for months, maybe for years. You have asked Allah with a full heart. You have cried in sujood. You have raised your hands in the last third of the night. You have made istighfar. You have tried to be better. And still, the thing you are asking for has not come. If that is you right now, I need you to hear this clearly. Your dua is not being ignored. It is being handled by the one who sees not just what you want, but what you need. By the one who knows not just this moment, but every moment that comes after it. There is a beautiful teaching that our scholars pass on. When a believer makes a sincere dua, one of three things will happen. Either Allah gives you exactly what you asked for in this life, or He withholds it here and gives you something better instead. Or He stores the weight of that dua and gives it to you on the day you need it most. Not one sincere dua is ever lost. Not one. But sometimes the door closes again and again. And in those moments, it can feel like rejection. It is not rejection. It is redirection. There was a prophet of Allah whose name we say with deep love. Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. He suffered for years. Long, painful, silent years. He lost his health. He lost what he had. He was tested in ways most of us will never face. And when he finally called out to his Lord, do you know what he said? أَنِّي مَسَّنِيَ الضُّرُّ وَأَنْتَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. Surah Al-Anbiya, Ayah 83. He did not demand, he did not complain, he simply reminded his Lord of who he is. He said, I am in pain, and you are the most merciful. That is all he said, and Allah responded, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. So we responded to him. Surah Al-Anbiya, Ayah 84. Just like that, the response came. When the time was right, when the test had completed its purpose, when the heart of Ayub alayhi salam had been polished in ways that only that level of patience could achieve. So if you are still waiting, maybe the door is not closed. Maybe it is just not time yet. And maybe in the waiting, something is happening inside you that you will only understand later. Keep asking. Do not stop. Keep knocking on the door of Allah, because the door of Allah is the only door that never truly closes. There is something I want you to sit with for a moment. Every single thing that has caused you pain in this life, every loss, every disappointment, every night of crying, none of it has been wasted. In Islam, suffering is never pointless. It is always purposeful. Think about gold for a moment. When gold is taken out of the earth, it is not pure. It has other things mixed into it, things that do not belong. And to remove those things, you put it through fire. The fire does not destroy the gold, the fire refines it. The fire makes it into what it was always meant to be. And a believer is like that gold. The difficulties of this life are not punishments from Allah. They are a process, a refining, a purifying, a preparing. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us something so comforting about this. He told us, no fatigue, no illness, no sorrow, no sadness, no hurt, and no distress befalls a Muslim. Not even the prick of a thorn, except that Allah expiates some of his sins because of it. Bukhari, even a thorn, a tiny, small, almost meaningless prick of a thorn, and Allah is already using it, already converting it, already turning it into mercy for you. So what do you think he is doing with the big things? The grief that you carried for months, the loss that changed the shape of your life, the test that brought you to your knees. He is doing something with all of it, something you cannot fully see from where you are standing right now, but you will see it. Maybe in this life, when you look back and realize that what felt like destruction was actually construction, that what felt like a closed door was Allah walking you toward a better one. And if not in this life, then on the day when every page of your story is revealed and you finally see the full picture, and on that day, you will not be sad about the pain. You will be grateful for it, because that thing that broke your heart may have been quietly cleaning your record with Allah at the same time. And what a beautiful exchange that is. So we have spoken about trust. We have spoken about dua. We have spoken about pain. But now I want to talk about something very practical. What does it actually look like to let go and give it to Allah? Because for many of us, we know we should trust Him. We believe it in our minds, but in our hearts, we are still holding on, still worrying at 3 inches the morning, still running the same anxious thoughts in circles. So how do you actually do it? It starts in prayer. Not the prayer where you stand and recite and rush through, but the prayer where you stand and you stop and you actually speak. In your own words, in your own language, with your own voice, even if it is broken, even if you do not know the Arabic, Allah hears every language. He understands every kind of brokenness. Tell Him what you are carrying. Tell Him what you are afraid of. Tell Him what you need. That moment when you really speak to Allah and not just at Him, that is where the releasing begins. And alongside your dua, add istighfar, seeking forgiveness. Because sometimes